Hey everybody, it's me. This is going to be a more serious topic, but it's hopefully going to help someone else who has had the same experience. I'm going to talk about sexual trauma. In my case, it was military sexual trauma, and this happened when I was 19 years old. I am now 53, so it's been a number of years. And I served in the military. I was sexually harassed every single day, and also I was raped by a fellow soldier who was in my unit. And after the rape took place, I did not tell anyone. It was my then fiance's best friend. I didn't talk. I didn't think anyone would believe me, because when I had reported harassment in the military, which included a fellow soldier, a fellow medic, standing in the female bathroom on the third floor of our barracks, watching me take a shower while I told him to get out of the bathroom, even after I reported that, they let him out with an honorable discharge. So when I was raped, I knew that the military would not do anything and I would not be believed. So I decided I would deal with it later, and later was over 20 years later. And when I finally I went to the VA and I said, I can no longer live like this. It's not that I wanted to end my life. It's that I didn't want to continue living the way I was living. And I said, if I don't get help, I don't know what's going to happen. So I was inpatient the first time for 3 months. And I went through something called cognitive processing therapy. And basically what you do is you discuss the event, the trauma. And then my therapist saved my life. And this is a very difficult thing to do. She said, you're going to write down the trauma, and 14 pages of every single detail of what happened. Went back to my next session. She said, now you're going to read that trauma out loud, verbatim, word for word. I did. I could barely get through it. There were times I was crying so hard that I was bent over. I couldn't. It was traumatic. And so you kind of relive it. And then you get through that. And then she says, okay, you're going to write down the sensations, the sight, sound, what you see, touch, taste, hear, etc. All the senses that are associated with the trauma. So you have to write down, how was the light? What did you hear on TV? Did you hear any movement? Anything? What did you smell? And so you write all that down, and then you read all of that too. So you have to write it down again and associate all of the senses with it. And after that, you start to process and realize that after a trauma occurs, if you don't allow it to flow out and you don't discuss it, deal with it, and talk about it and process it, it gets stuck. And as a result of that, I ended up with irrational behaviors, thoughts, and feelings. For instance, even though I never used drugs, I didn't drink, etc., I was not a regular user of those things. I would love to shop, and I kind of was a little bit of a pack rat, but also I would be walking into the VA or walking in a parking lot, and I'd see a man, and I would think immediately I was going to get raped. And I would be walking into the VA or an establishment, the mall, etc., and there was a man walking behind me, and I'd stop dead in my tracks, pretend I was looking at my cell phone so he could walk in front of me, so I could make sure that I wasn't going to be hurt. Even when I would be at work, I would have to tell my coworkers, and I was not in a closed cubicle. My area was open, but people would walk into my area for help or to get their mail, etc. And I had to inform everyone, you can't walk behind me, because my assault took place. I was raped in different manners. So I say, you cannot walk behind me. You have to let me know you're coming into my space. And so I lived with a lot of irrational fears, thoughts, and feelings. And after you go through cognitive processing therapy, you start to become judge and jury. And for instance, if I stopped in fear because I thought a man was going to rape me, you were almost sitting in a courtroom where you'd have to say, be the prosecutor and the defense, okay, I believe this man is going to rape me, but what factual evidence do you have that this person's going to rape you? And you have to start rationalizing your irrational fears and thoughts and emotions, etc. So it took a while for me to get it and to finally learn how to process everything cognitively. And it took a while. It wasn't an overnight process, and it was very difficult. It's helped in other areas of my life, but most important, it has helped me to learn how to make sense of everything. And it's not that I don't have fear, and it's not that I don't have flashbacks, and I don't have anxiety, and I don't suffer in certain ways or deal with challenges in certain ways. I just know now if I am dealing with irrational thoughts and feelings, I have to get back to therapy. I have to talk to someone. I have to figure out what's going on. So I think with any trauma, whether it's breakup or you've been abused, sexually traumatized, any kind of trauma, I think it's really important to allow it to process and to talk about it and to find someone that can help you walk through the stages of grief so you don't have to hold on to it. So I hope this helps someone. I am not an expert. I am someone who has been there, done that, and is finding joy in every day despite life is not perfect. I just wanted to share this because I found it helpful for me, and I hope it helps someone else. So that's it. I hope everyone's having a great day, and we'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.